Powered by Riverside FM.
You know, I was sitting back thinking, what do you get when you have Kyle Shanahan's brain? You've got KOC's scheme and a bust of a quarterback. You've got Sam Darnold's 2024-2025 season with the Minnesota Vikings. Isn't that crazy? Like, he's gone and he's been jettisoned from the Minnesota Vikings, now starting his career in the Pacific Northwest in Seattle. And I think what he did last year is kind of forgotten about. Like, who deserves the credit? Did he just bloom at the right time and have a fantastic year that's going to follow him to Seattle and possibly beyond? Who knows how long he stays in Seattle or if he retires in Seattle? Do you give Kyle Shanahan, next level Shanny, as PA calls him, do you give him the credit of putting him in an environment where he learned the game a different way from one of the brightest, smartest coaches in the NFL? Did that help him before he came to Minnesota? Or was it KOC's system? Man, it could be a lot of different things. I don't know. Who deserves the credit? Who gets the credit? When you talk about Kevin O'Connell, you're talking about the quarterback whisperer, like he's been given that name. He's done some great things with quarterbacks. I mean, you can look at Kirk Cousins and how he floundered in Atlanta, had his best years with the Minnesota Vikings, couldn't get us over the hump. Hell, but you can't squeeze lemonade out of a turnip. He still had some really, really good years here, but just couldn't get over the hump. And then you had what KOC did with Sam Darnold last year. Before Sam Darnold, it was the Pastronaut. The Pastronaut had some really, really good years. Nick Mullins put up some stats. But it's the job that he did with Sam Darnold that is amazing. And I'm just trying to figure out, man. I'm just trying to figure out, where did that come from next year? See, I think a lot of people are going to expect that same Sam Darnold in Seattle. And I know the Seattle fans are wanting that, looking for that. Their administration and their coaching staff are going to want that, and I just don't think they're going to get that Sam Darnold. You could also throw the equation that he had some of the best weapons in the league. Did that help Sam Darnold? I'm just trying to put my finger on it because there's a lot of different ways that you can look at this thing, KOC system. And then you look at Kyle Shanahan. I mean, Kyle Shanahan is no slouch when it comes to quarterback whispering himself. Look at Mr. Irrelevant. Brock Purdy is up for one of the biggest contracts this year. Mr. Irrelevant. I mean, people can say what they want about the kid, but in his years with the San Francisco 49ers, you can't dismiss the job that he has done. For whatever reason, he's not messing stuff up. I've heard, well, you know, he's got Kyle Shanahan as a coach, and you know, Brock Purdy is a system guy. I don't care. He's getting the job done. So Kyle Shanahan is no slouch when it comes to developing quarterbacks himself. So maybe Sam Darnold benefited from being around that environment for a year, and he was ready to come in with the Minnesota Vikings. A nice, smooth sports vehicle with a little bit of dings. Every now and then, you know, you hear something in the engine, you hear something in the muffler. Those were his last two games of the season. But for the most part, he rode smooth all year long. Was he the benefit of a talented team? Aaron Jones in the backfield, Jordan Addison, Justin Jefferson, TJ Hawkinson, who came in halfway through the year. He played behind now an iffy offensive line. So it makes you think, boy, if he would have had a better line, what could he have done? Because teams were just coming after him, blitzing him towards the end of the year. He's not going to have that offensive line presence in Seattle. He's not going to have the wide receiving core that he had in Minnesota and Seattle. I know they just signed Cooper Kupp, but I think Cooper Kupp is a little bit past his prime. Can he be productive? Absolutely. But he's not the Cooper Kupp that we're used to seeing. Jackson Smith and Jigba, former Ohio State wide receiver. Yeah, he's okay. He's been doing okay in Seattle. Nothing to write home about. So the skill positions are going to be a little bit depleted from what he's used to having in Minnesota. Why last year? All the stars aligned perfectly for Sam Darnold. I'm just trying to figure out who to give the credit to. It could just be he blossomed at the right time. I know a lot of people don't believe that. You know, it's funny how it went from Rex Ryan banging his hand on the table saying the Minnesota Vikings have to re-sign this guy. And then when those last two games happened for Sam Darnold, it was crickets. Like, you didn't hear a lot of that. And I think he cost himself a lot of money because he basically got the Baker Mayfield contract going to Seattle. But why last year? Why did all the stars align? Man, it's an intriguing thing to think about. It could be the system in KOC. KOC has done it with multiple quarterbacks, although the whispering stopped with the Pastronaut after about 3 games. Like, the Pastronaut kind of fell off. A lot of people don't like that narrative because it hurts the quarterback whisperer thing with KOC, but the Pastronaut kind of fell off. But you saw the job that he did with Kirk Cousins. I mean, you can't dispute that. Nick Mullins, 400-yard games. Nick Mullins will never play like that again. And then you got Sam Darnold, who was a guy that was considered a bust, that was forgotten about. It seems to me that KOC and the Minnesota Vikings organization is starting to get that reputation as a destination for people that may want to revive their careers or just be a part of a good culture that has a chance to be in the playoffs every year and win a Super Bowl. That's what you're getting from Kevin O'Connell. I mean, think about this. The whole Aaron Rodgers deal, people didn't know who reached out to who. Kevin O'Connell made it apparent that Aaron Rodgers reached out first. You got a Hall of Fame quarterback that's looking at our organization, and you know how picky and how much of a prima donna Aaron Rodgers can be. Picked up the phone and called the quarterback whisperer, KOC, Kevin O'Connell, because he wanted to be a part of this. Reputation is everything in the NFL. The Minnesota Vikings have one, and they're continuing to build. So when we have those dollars available like we did in free agency, Kwesi has no choice but to cook. The reputation is good. Everybody wants to get here. And we benefited from that last year as well by bringing in a guy, Sam Darnold. Didn't have a whole lot of choices. But it's amazing how your whole career, everything is kind of shattered, struggling. People are calling you a bust, and all of a sudden the stars align and comes together. And I'm telling you right now, you're not going to see the same player in Seattle. So my question to you, UP Nation, is who gets the credit? Is it Kyle Shanahan and his tutelage, KOC and his system? Maybe it was all the toys that he had to play with here in terms of Sam Darnold playing quarterback. Or was it just the right time? Was it just the right time where a quarterback who had some talent, obviously, coming out of high school, had some good years at quarterback at USC, struggled in the NFL, and all of a sudden, he bloomed? Well, we're going to find out next year if he's bloomed or not. If we get anything similar to the Sam Darnold that we saw last year. Just an intriguing question. Who gets the credit? Why did the stars align? Man, this has been Unconventional Playbook. Please hit that like and subscribe button. Also, please consider becoming a member. Those that become members will be entered into a drawing to win a Minnesota Vikings Winter Warriors jerseys. Man, those things are box office. And as always, UP Nation, we will see ya when we see ya. Skol!